Man, I love a good remake, and Contra Operation Galuga is a really good remake. I guess it's more of a reimagining than anything, but anyway, Operation Galuga does an excellent job in recreating what made the Contra series great. Amazing and simple controls, a sweet soundtrack, and a great stage design ending with gigantic boss battles. When the game was first announced, I didn't know what to think about it or what a Galuga was. At first I thought they meant Galuga, but then realized that was Namco and this is Konami. Along with Konami, Operation Galuga was developed by WayForward, who is best known for the Shantae series. They're also responsible for the DuckTales remake, River City Girls series, and they even have some past experience with the Contra series with Contra 4 for the Nintendo DS. If you've ever played a Contra game before, Operation Galuga will feel right at home. The controls are tight with the ability to duck, jump, and shoot in any direction, which is great because enemy fire comes from every side of the screen. You can also hold the right trigger to lock yourself in place for precise aiming. Along with the standard controls, you have the new ability to double jump and dash. Although these new abilities do make evading enemy attacks easier, after a bit of gameplay they feel very natural and fit the game well. Let's talk weapons. You have the usual suspects here with the machine gun, laser, spread shot, and what I thought was going to be the fire from Contra 1 was pleasantly surprised to find out it was the flamethrower introduced in Contra 3.
That's over.
There's also a homing missile if you want to make the game significantly easier. You can build a meter which will allow you to spawn a power-up at will. You can hold two different weapons and swap between them with the shoulder buttons. Each weapon can be powered up by collecting two of the same, giving the weapon more shots, a refracting feature, or a piercing attribute. You can also overload your weapon, sacrificing a level or the weapon altogether for an awesome effect. For instance, the spread shot will send bouncing projectiles all over the screen, the machine gun will give you a temporary shield, and the homing missiles will send out drones for a brief time. These overloads work great when you're in a tight spot and can turn the tide in your favor if you're getting overwhelmed. Contra Operation Galuga has 3 modes of play with the story, arcade, and challenge modes. The dialogue in the story mode is a bit long-winded, but I do appreciate the cheesiness.
Details. As you know, a terrorist group called Red Falcon has been carrying out limited strikes around the globe. While it's still unconfirmed, we should assume the worst. Apparently the Red Falcon are more powerful than we realized.
This gives us reason to suspect the Red Falcon are developing gravity weapons.
A remote hideout, missing super soldiers, and a doomsday weapon.
Hell of a Friday.
Time to introduce ourselves.
Hell yeah, brother.
If you run out of lives, the game does offer a checkpoint system at the halfway point in a stage. The arcade mode is the same as story mode minus the story, with the main difference between the two is that story mode has 2-player co-op, but the arcade mode offers 4-player co-op. Unfortunately, there is no online multiplayer, so unless your buds are with you on the couch, you're out of luck. Challenge mode gives the game a bit more content, offering legitimate challenges, like making it through a section of a stage without getting hit within 35 seconds. The term challenge is appropriate because these are tough. Just the first one took me multiple tries to get it, requiring me not only to dodge enemy fire, but making heavy use of the dash to make the time limit. There are multiple characters to choose from, with a couple unlocking as you progress through the story mode. The newcomer Ariana, who holds her own as a native on the island of Galuga, and then Lucia. And the 2 Probotectors for the PAL fans. You've also got remappable controls, the option to have a life bar or traditional one-hit kills, and 8-way aiming or 360-degree aiming. A huge addition to Contra, Operation Galuga, which extends the replayability of the game beyond the 2 to 4 hours it'll take you to finish the story mode, is the introduction of perks. You earn points when completing stages that you can then use to buy the perks. Some perks are character specific, such as invincibility while dashing with Bill, or a higher double jump for Lance. There are universal perks as well, like increasing your 1-up count, extending your life bar, or starting with a weapon of your choice. You're limited to how many perks can be equipped at a time, so it adds a bit of strategy on how to tackle stages that are giving you trouble. Speaking of trouble, the difficulty seems to have been toned down from the original games due to the quality of life additions. The good thing is you don't have to use these features if you don't want to. For a more traditional experience, keep the one-hit kills and the 8-way aiming. There's only one place I got stuck in the game that may have been an oversight in the difficulty balancing, but the Stage 3 boss caused me to game over a few times. Every boss after that I took out no problem, but this one gave me trouble. Can't imagine why. It could have been the fire breath that stays on the ground, or the acid shooting from its arms, or the foreground claw repeatedly following me around. There are numerous throwbacks to the old games, and I chuckled to myself when I got the references.
We've accessed the weapon.
Let's attack aggressively.
Even the bosses from the early games make an appearance, like the previously mentioned difficult Stage 3 boss. And yes, the Konami code returns, but I won't spoil it for you. Overall, I'm really impressed with Contra Operation Galuga. It feels like the dev team were fans of the originals, and it shows in the feel of the game. The attention to detail is what brings the game above average for me, like muting the music when your character ducks under the water. Or all the action happening in the foreground and background in each stage.
What the hell?
Our chopper's taken enemy fire. It's going down.
Are you alone?
You shouldn't be here. You're not what you think.
Contra fans definitely should pick up Contra Operation Galuga, and if you're on the fence, you can always check out the demo. And that's it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Is this entire lab an alien cloning facility?